Welcome everybody. My name's Will Pierce here as Senior Marketing Specialist. I'm one of our key account specialists here. So I work with our top hand-selected agents and agencies that are great partners of ours. I'm here today to talk about the top 3 reasons that agents don't make the sale or maybe don't close on the deal. These might sound pretty obvious and pretty straightforward, but when you're going through everyday appointments, it can be really easy to get lost in the shuffle. The first one is not doing deep enough fact-finding. It's really easy. Someone calls you and say, hey, I want to talk about my insurance, or I want to talk about Medicare insurance. But if you don't take the time to really sit down with them and go through the full scope of fact-finding with them, you're going to have a lot lower close rates on those. Or if you're working leads, you need to do a really deep dive on the fact-finding. Every client that comes in, you should be talking about not only their health history, but their family's health history as well. And I say that because that's really important when you're talking about some of these ancillary products and complementary product sales, especially my personal passion one, cancer insurance. If you're not uncovering maybe a family problem or family history of cancer, you're not going to have a really easy close of that cancer application. If you don't know that, my grandpa actually died really young and, so did his dad too. There's a life insurance need right then and there that's explained itself without you having to go through a whole long sales pitch. So really get deep and get really granular with that fact finding. You'd be surprised at the information people will willingly give to you if you're just having conversation with them. And my second reason that I see a lot of agents don't close a sale, and I know, you're going to laugh at this one, but they are literally not asking for it. You've got to ask for the sale. You're like, what are you talking about? I go through the entire presentation with them. Well, yeah, but in that presentation, do you ever actually make the ask, or are you just giving information? And more times than not, that's where I see agents struggle. They're just giving information and they're never making that ask. You think, okay, well, what does an ask sound like if I'm not just doing it naturally in the presentation? Well, it can be as simple as, Mr. and Mrs. Smith, today we've talked about your Medicare supplement, your prescription drug plan, and a standalone DVH policy. We can have all of these start for you on April 1st. I know you're leaving your group insurance in March, so we can have a 4/1 start date for these, and your cumulative premium across all of these is going to be $250 a month, $100 for your Medicare supplement, whatever their PDP, and then whatever the dental is, for example. Does that sound good to you? You've asked for the sale right there. Very low pressure ask, very easy and very natural in the flow of your conversation, which should coincide with the fact finding that you just got done doing. And if they say, yeah, actually that sounds great, or that premium seems a little steep. Could we maybe do a little lower benefits on the dental? I may not use as much as I think I will. So yeah, absolutely. We can save a little bit on that dental premium for you. Let's go ahead and get started on your Medicare supplement and your PDP applications. Boom, sale. You're going through the process now. And the last one, and the one that a lot of agents still struggle with to this day, especially with those complementary products, is not being comfortable with the application process. I don't know about you, but if I'm not comfortable going through something from start to finish, I'm probably not going to do it, or I'm probably going to need to phone a friend. And that's what senior marketing specialists can be there for you for when you do need us. But if you're not comfortable with how to take that e-app, or maybe how to answer the questions on the application, you're likely not going to do it. And then you're leaving policies on the table and, unfortunately, leaving clients uninsured in the process. So you've got to be really, really comfortable with the application process. We're happy to go through sample ones with you. There are a lot of carriers out there that actually have a sandbox version that I highly recommend every agent just go and play around with. Do a sample John Doe application all the way from start to the end so that you know what pops up. You know what the next step is going to be. And if you're doing sample apps, you're going to run into some issues at some point or another. And that's the biggest hang up with agents when you're getting into the e-app and getting more comfortable with it. There's going to be problems. If that problem pops up, you've got a really easy out to not ask for the sale and not finish the process. So get comfortable with that e-application process. To reiterate 3 reasons that I see agents not making the deal and not closing the sale: not doing nearly enough fact finding and not getting deep enough with that fact finding, not making a clear and definitive ask in the process, and then just really being uncomfortable with that application process. Stay tuned for more information and give us a call at 800-689-2800.